back to my channel where we are watching films that I've seen all year in the year 2023. The next film I'm going to talk about did come out in theaters. However, I had already given birth to my baby at this point and wasn't able to just run out to the theaters as often as before. So I didn't actually see this one in theaters, and no one I know in real life actually wanted to see this film with me. So I actually did just stream this one at home. I believe it was streamed on Amazon Prime. I could be wrong about that. I'll put the correct one down here. But it is Five Nights at Freddy's. It is rated PG-13. It's an hour and 50 minutes. It is distributed by Universal Pictures. Directed by Emma Toomey. Music is by Newton Brothers. The synopsis is, as troubled security guards begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria when he soon realizes the night shift may not be as easy as he thought.
I will work and you will sleep.
I understand.
It stars Josh Hutcherson as Mike Schmidt, Matthew Lillard at first as Steve Raglan, but also as William Afton, Elizabeth Lail as Vanessa, Pepper Rubio as Abby Schmidt, Kat Connor Sterling as Max, and just a little side note, Matt Pat does guest star as the waiter in the restaurant. Five Nights at Freddy's, I knew nothing about it. The only thing I knew is back a few years ago, maybe back in 2016, my coworker at the time, coworker, her daughter, who was maybe 13 at that time, was obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's. And I remember my sister, who teaches younger kids, they were all obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's. And I saw these little animatronic beings and they're kind of creepy. And I think the video game my husband played one year was Poppy. But he's like, this is kind of like what Five Nights at Freddy's is like. So I kind of knew nothing about it. In the end, I knew nothing about it. I just knew they were animatronics. And I guess they were inspired by Chuck E. Cheese. I personally have never been to Chuck E. Cheese. I don't think I ever have even stepped foot in a Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know any lore or anything like that. But I do know what I expected. What I expected was hardly what I got from watching it. I did watch it all by myself because, again, no one else wanted to watch it with me. Sad face. But I expected to be the main character, Mike Schmidt, to be stuck in this pizzeria for 5 nights. 4 days, 5 nights. Does he get out? Does he not? Do these animatronics kill him? Do they not? No, I don't think he was ever stuck there. I think he just worked there. And I like that opening scene when he sees the little boy and this man just comes up and grabs the little boy and walks away. And knowing his past, he thinks this child's being kidnapped. So it's just instinctful for him to go and beat the shit out of this guy to help the little boy. Unfortunately, he read the room wrong. That was actually his dad, and the son just watched him beat his dad up. So he gets fired from that security place. At that time, Matthew Lillard is one of those people that you go to when you're looking for a job. I went to one of those places once. I can't remember what it's called, but I've only been to one of those once in my life. Steve Raglan is who he's portraying in the moment. But he asks, he's like, okay, you are Mike, and he's like, Schmidt? Like, he stopped saying his last name, like, okay, there's a tie there. And I think it's also kind of known that Matthew Lillard was going to inevitably be the antagonist. Again, I don't know the lore, so it's hard for me to judge on, but there was a scene where his first shift, he's watching the pre-recording of Welcome to Freddy's Fazbear's Pizzeria. Like, here's the intro, here's what you're going to be doing, you're the security guard, let's meet the animatronics. And I was like, good, because I personally know nothing about these animatronics, so let me meet them. And the tape like flips or something, and she's like, let us meet the animatronic. Flip, aren't they adorable? I'm sitting here like, who the fuck are they? Like, I don't know any of them. And so it wasn't until I started watching reviews that I learned the names were Freddy, who's the main animatronic, the leader. And then there's like a golden Freddy as well. Because when the little boy comes into the house, he's like not Freddy. There's Bonnie, Chica, Cupcake, Foxy, and Springtrap that were in this. I guess there's more. I'm gonna have to learn more of the lore to understand everything. But a lot of the custody battle does kind of sideline what you think this movie is about. You'd think it's going to be about these animatronics going after people. And even the night where they were planning to break in and get him fired from his job, they do it during the day. And those kills were decent. Again, this is a PG-13 film. Would have been better being rated R? Absolutely. However, there are children watching. And I have definitely become someone who, I love adult content. I love the gore. I love the prosthetics of the gore. I'm an adult. I can handle that shit. But it is awkward when you know little kids are watching. I kind of wanted to see if my niece would be able to watch this film. I don't know how she would take to it. I don't want to try that now. She's 5 years old. Maybe when she's like 13, we can try to gateway her into horror stuff. But yeah, at this point, like, some of it was pretty, for a kid, scary. So, but I don't think the animatronics had much to do with it. And the idea of the kids are inside the animatronic and the kids are the ones haunting him and they are taking him back. Mike taking sleeping pills to go back to a certain dream that's a memory to remember more details. I sure as hell can't do that. But I guess there was a book at the beginning he showed about dream walking or something. I think that's what it's called. And that explains what he's doing and how he's trying to figure out who kidnapped his brother. And so these kids are trying to help him, but they're really just, I don't know the kids' end goal, because they're claiming their innocence. However, they just killed those people that did break in. And even though breaking in is a bad thing, it's not something they should have died for if they're claiming that they're innocent kids. So it's kind of contradictory. And let's see. I also liked at the very end, I always watch to the very end of the credits, and this is even before the MCU. Before I started watching MCU stuff. But I've always, when you go to film class, you learn it's courtesy to watch a film all the way through. So even at home, where I could easily turn it off and go to the next thing I'm doing in life, I watched it all the way to the end credits. And I'm glad I did, because I loved how in this really creepy robotic voice you hear someone spell out, "Come find me." We believe that must be his brother that he is trying to figure out. Who kidnapped him? Where did he go? Is he dead? Is he alive? Who knows? So at the very end, it's this person robotically spells out, "Come find me." So I think we are going to get a second one, and is going to show what happened to his brother. Matthew Lillard, is great to see him in another film. And while I was watching that, I was also binge watching the series House. And the episode I was on that day was when Matthew Lillard had guest starred in it. So I got my Matthew Lillard fix. It was amazing to see him back in this. And now that we don't know if we're getting a Scream 7 or not, his big reveal as William Afton, I'm going to say it's just basically copy-paste if they ever made a Scream 7 of big reveal of Stu Macher still being alive. Because that was, it really curved the appetite of what if Stumacher's still alive is very much that. And one thing that doesn't make sense, I guess it's just something the character says in the games, that William Afton always says, I'll be back, I always come back. A, you're not Chucky. B, this is your first movie. He hasn't survived anything. So yeah, that may have been his line, but save it to where it makes sense. What does he mean, I'll come back, I always come back? This is the first film. You haven't always when you never have. Like, what? The math there was, that was bad on, that's just bad judgment to include that line in the first film. It made no sense. The daughter, I don't like that she was a police. I don't like that she was not doing her police job and instead just bothering Mike Schmidt and his sister the entire film. I don't like how she didn't warn him better. I would give it acting, story, editing, score, iconic, rewatchable, and overall I would give Five Nights at Freddy's a C. If you guys like this, please hit like, comment down below, let's get a conversation started. Please subscribe, hit the bell button, and I'll see you guys in our last movie. Thanks. Bye.